So we get a lot of questions, people who have maybe an interest, maybe a curiosity in seeing me, coming in for an appointment, but I know that there's a lot of fear in seeing a dietitian. Oh, the dreaded dietitian, she's gonna take all the food away that I like, or I'm just not ready to make all these big changes. I'm not ready to completely overhaul my lifestyle and my diet. So I know that there can be resistance, and so I thought I would just walk you through what a typical appointment with me would look like. So usually what I do, my first appointment is always about intake. And what I mean by that is I want to know who you are, where you are, and what your background is, so that I can meet you where you are, and then we can go from there. I don't want you to be perfect. I just want to help you make small changes. So that intake also is about getting measurements. Some people do, you want to measure success. And so I will, might do weight. Sometimes I ought not to do that. Might do body composition, body fat. We have a scale that does body fat. Sometimes I opt not to do that. Sometimes I don't feel it's appropriate. Then I also do measurements. And that might be hip to waist is usually the most common measurements. But if we're working with somebody who wants their chest and their arms bigger, we might do more measurements than that. So that's kind of my intake. And then, like I said, hearing from you what your hang-ups are, what your challenges are, what the roadblocks are, and getting to know you as a client. So most of the initial appointment is really you talking to me. And I don't do as much talking at that appointment. And my wheels just start turning. And what I'm looking for then is, now let's figure out what your goals are. And let's narrow your goals down to be really small. And the goals are not necessarily how much you want to weigh at a certain date, but the goals may be what behaviors you feel like you need to change. We start talking about those limiting factors, those challenges, those roadblocks I mentioned. So we start looking at what maybe one or two things do you think you could realistically change right now, and just focusing on that. Now, I do, after the appointment, I will put together a recap of our appointment. That allows me, as I think back through our visit, it allows me to highlight the things that I think are the most important, and just send that to you, remind you of that. And then it also allows me, I will send a meal plan, because I know everybody that sees a dietitian is expecting a meal plan. It's something I give to you, not for you to follow rigidly, but it's something I give to you because it just gives you an idea of what perfect would look like. With that said, I don't believe in perfect, and I don't hold anybody to a perfect standard. I certainly don't follow a perfect diet, and I don't expect anybody to, but it's nice to see what that gold standard is, so you kind of know what direction you're moving in. And then I always follow up 6 weeks later is kind of what the magic number I do here. So at that 6 weeks appointment, what I like to do, really, it's about accountability, and it's not so that I can make you feel bad about yourself. It's because we just all need some accountability. It helps keep us focused. So my goal is to have you come back in, we'll probably remeasure, but really what I like to do is review your goals. Like I said, we have set maybe 1 or 2 specific goals. So I just want to hear from you. What were your hang-ups? Did you reach those goals? And if not, what went wrong? And what went wrong, so that we can figure out how to fix it. And then I'm going to help you try to fix it. And we're going to set new goals, or we're going to revise our old goals. And then we'll just continue doing that every 6 weeks.